Hello, my friends. It's Ezra Levant here. It's Friday night. Let me check what time it is. It's about 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. And I know it's late, but we had some breaking news today that I'd like to talk with you about. And feel free to super chat with me if you like. You know what I'm talking about. Just make comments on the screen. We had a busy week. The election was on Monday. Alberta separatism caught fire on Tuesday. Lots of news, busy week. And then at 5 p.m. on Friday, today, like just a few hours ago, we are packing it up. And I get a phone call from our lawyer that Justin Trudeau has served us with a legal notice of appeal. Justin Trudeau is taking the rebel to court. I couldn't believe it. And I also couldn't believe the timing. It was 5 p.m. on a Friday night. We don't leave the office early, but it was such a busy week, we were all sort of getting ready to go home. And so he sent me a copy of this legal notice, and you can see it for yourself at letusreport.com. So it's a 4-page document, and it's very, very clear. Justin Trudeau is suing Rebel News, and by the way, they're also suing our friends at True North. And it's so strange, I'm having trouble explaining it, but I'll just do my best. You know, a couple weeks ago, we went to the Federal Court of Canada to get the right to report from the Canadian federal election leaders debate. So we went to the federal court on an emergency basis and got an emergency injunction to let us cover the debates. And it happened so quickly because the debate was the night of the trial, and then there was the French language debate a couple of days later. So we were successful in federal court. It was wonderful. Kian Bexty and David Menzies from our company were admitted to the debates. And our friend Andrew Lawton from True North was there, and he was admitted. So it was just wonderful. They did great work at both debates, and then it's done. So the emergency injunction is just what it sounds like. It applied just for a couple of days, really, and then it's over because the debates are over, the election's over. It's really of no force or effect anymore because it was temporary. We are appealing the power of the Debates Commission to keep us out. So there will be a larger substantive hearing, but that emergency injunction, it's obsolete now, right? Because it's come and gone. Well, that's what's so crazy here, is Justin Trudeau at 5 p.m. on a Friday night sent us a legal notice that he is appealing that emergency injunction. What? Yeah, I don't understand it either. But you can see it with your own eyes at letusreport.com. I want to tell you one other layer of crazy, because it's pretty crazy. I don't think you need to be a legal expert to know that when there is a appeal, you're appealing a ruling from a judge, right? That's what appeal means. But the judge who gave us that emergency injunction to go into the debates, he just gave an oral ruling right there on the spot. He signed the order to let us into the debates, and he said, I will publish my written rulings in due course. So he basically said, I'm siding with Rebel News. I'm sending in you journalists to the debate. I'm signing the order, and because we're in such a rush, I'll give you the written reasons later. That's not unusual at all. So his name was Justice Russell Zinn of the federal court, and he seemed like a pretty good judge. Obviously, I'm pleased with his ruling, but he has not yet written his judgments. He hasn't published his reasons yet, which is fair enough because there's no rush, right? I mean, he let us in, he gave us an emergency injunction. He'll write them when he has a moment. I mean, whether it's a week from now or a month from now, it really doesn't matter because it just happened. But Justin Trudeau is appealing the ruling of the judge, Justice Russell Zinn, even though that ruling hasn't been published yet. How can you appeal something that hasn't been written yet? How can you appeal something you haven't even read yet? How do you actually know that you want to appeal it if you haven't even seen it? Well, I mean, it's obvious that he would appeal it anyways because he doesn't care what the judge says. Excuse me. He's for censoring Rebel News no matter what. There's one more thing I want to tell you about how weird this is. Like I say, I only heard about this just after 5 p.m. today. And I was still in the office, and we still had a team in the office, and I banged out a really quick video, and we put up that website, letusreport.com. But we were, I mean, half an hour later, and we probably would have been moseying out the door. We were served with that notice of appeal at like 5:05 p.m. But Trudeau's lawyers actually wrote it and filed it at the courts on October 17th, 8 days ago. So what does that mean? That means Trudeau and the Debates Commission and the Attorney General, and I think there are 5 lawyers there, they appealed this ruling, again before the ruling was even written, before they even saw it. They appealed the ruling during the election. They filed the papers at the Federal Court of Appeal, but they kept it secret until after Election Day. So they ambushed us, they surprised us, they gave it to us on a Friday night at 5 p.m. But it had actually been filed and they kept it secret because imagine if we would have known about this during the campaign. It would have been a disgraceful campaign scandal. That Justin Trudeau, not only did he want to keep us out from the leaders' debate in the first place, not only did he waste so much taxpayers' money, he sent 5 lawyers to fight us. Not only did he lose, but he was appealing that, and he didn't even wait till the judgment came out. He literally appealed during the campaign, but he instructed his lawyers to keep that a secret until today. I see some folks have joined us, so let me give you a recap. Just after 5 p.m. today, we were served with a lawsuit from Justin Trudeau. He's appealing our legal victory at the federal court a couple weeks ago that let us in to report from the leaders' debates. It's shocking that he's doing this. It's no surprise that he's doing it that he served us the papers on a Friday night. It's so weird that he's doing it, though, because number one, the debates already came and gone. And like I say, this federal court hearing, as you may recall, it was just for the emergency injunction. I mean, for those of you who are watching my live tweets, for those of you who remember from before, the judge basically made 2 decisions. One is he looked at the case and said, yeah, Rebel News has a case. Whether or not it wins is something another court on another time will have to do. But I acknowledge that there's enough here that they should have a hearing. And given that the debates are, like it was literally that night, the judge said, well, on the balance of convenience, let's let them in. It's irreparable harm to them if we don't let them in because they'll never be able to get it back. There's no harm to the government to let them in. So that was the emergency injunction. So it only applied to that night, really. And the judge didn't make like a permanent ruling. He just said, okay, this is going down really quick. These guys seem to have a case. If I don't let them in now, they'll never get this moment back. I'm going to let them in. So he didn't, it's not like a permanent thing. If we want a permanent win, and we do, we'll have to go to court on another day and do a good job, and I'm sure our lawyers will. But do you understand my point? It's like foam, it's like vapor, that it's gone, that moment is gone, it's obsolete, it's come and gone. Why would you even appeal that? How can you even appeal that? I mean, so you got to go to the Federal Court of Appeal and say, my lords, 2 weeks ago, Rebel News was allowed into the debates. We want to overturn that. Yeah, okay, go invent a time machine and we'll get right on that, boss. I don't even understand it. Like, what could the federal court even do? Say, we're overturning the emergency injunction that was already issued and the debate was already over and I don't get it. I swear I don't get it. I'm not playing dumb. Our lawyers, I mean, I didn't have a lot of time to talk to them today. It happened so quickly. I just don't understand it. I mean, let me look at your comments here. Seriously, if you have a guess, let me know. I'm not playing dumb. I mean, maybe I am dumb, but it's no act. Why would you appeal an injunction that's come and gone? Can you help me with that? Why would you appeal an injunction, the written ruling of which has not even been published yet? Why would you appeal no matter what that ruling says? And why would you appeal? What would you even tell the federal court? Why are you doing this? I mean, I know I'm sounding like I'm playing dumb. I'm not. But I have a theory. And my theory is that Justin Trudeau hates Rebel News so much, and True North, they served True North, that's Andrew Lawton and Candace Malcolm, and those good people are good buddies over there. They served them at the same time, 5 p.m. today. They're just trying to grind us down with legal fees because obviously the government has 5 lawyers. They have lawyers from the Debate Commission. They have lawyers from the Justice Department, the Attorney General. Plus, they hired an outside law firm called Borden, Ladner, Gervais. And for those who know their law firms, that's a pretty serious law firm. I'm guessing those lawyers are $800-900 an hour. So money is no object to Justin Trudeau. He has Justice Department lawyers, he has Debate Commission lawyers, and he has Borden, Ladner, Gervais, which are not cheap because it's only taxpayers' money to him. But he knows that he's inflicting those legal costs on us and our buddies at True North. And unlike the CBC, we don't take any government money. Unlike the bailout newspapers, we don't take any government money. You know, it was disclosed that the Toronto Star gets $115,000 every week from Justin Trudeau in the form of bailout money. We don't get a dollar of that. So frankly, if you want to chip in with a super chat, I'd be grateful. I should tell you that our legal bill for that hearing in the federal court was $18,000. And I know you're saying that's shocking. That's shocking. Well, that's how much it is. Our lawyers, the 2 of them and their staff, worked Friday all the way Monday, full day in court. They just worked their tushes off. 18 grand. Frankly, I've been in a lot of court cases, and that was very reasonable. So we just spent $18,000, and there's just no way this appeal, if it goes forward in a full federal court, there's just no way it's going to be less than 50 grand. I know you're thinking that's incredible. How could it be that much? My friends, I've done this before, and it's just going to be that much money. And I think that's the point. I think Trudeau is trying to, number 1, grind us down. Number 2, I think he's trying to send a message. Oh, thank you very much for that super chat. These messages are going by fairly quickly, so I didn't have a chance to read that, but thank you. He's trying to grind us down. He's trying to block us no matter what. He's trying to set a legal precedent that no one can challenge him, and that if you have this big idea you're going to challenge him, you better think twice. I I think he really wants to destroy any independent voices. And what's so crazy is, like I say, it's been a busy week. I mean, we just got our feet back under us. This is really his first major policy decision. Thank you for the super chat there, appreciate that. This is really his first policy decision since his re-election. Tell me one thing he's done. Tell me one thing he's done. You can't. He decided to serve us this censorship lawsuit. That's going to be the theme of his next, however long he has as prime minister again. He's coming after us. He's coming after our buddies at True North. I think he's taking a scorched earth approach. It's, you know, I've always, I mean, it started off as a joke. I said, there will soon only be two kinds of media left in Canada. Those that are government mandated, you know, government funded, government bailed out, government directed, like the CBC state broadcaster. So there'll be the state media, and then there'll be the banned media and nothing else. No one independent, no one truly private sector. I mean, Post Media is on the dole too. CTV, CBC, either directly on the dole or various other subsidies, highly regulated by the CRTC. $600 million newspaper bailout, $1.5 billion a year for the CBC. You can really count on one finger's hands the number of media outlets that are not on the dole. And Trudeau can't stand that. I mean, look, I'm very proud of how well the Rebel's done. We've got 1.27 million subscribers on our YouTube channel. And, you know, we get, like on election night, we had about 130,000 people tune in. That's very good. I'm very pleased with that. But let's be candid, that's still a drop in the bucket. I mean, you got 35 million Canadians. So 130,000 people watched our election night show. I was glad that they did, but that's like we're really a drop in the bucket. And for Trudeau to be so obsessed with going after us is just crazy. But that's the thing. I think the very fact that we refuse to bend the knee is what makes him so furious. Him and Gerald Butts just hates us. I think this is Gerald Butts' attempted revenge. So I don't have too much more to report, but I just wanted to tell you, I mean, I know it's, what time is it now? It's almost 10 o'clock Eastern. So we rushed to a little video. You can see the document. I want you to read that document for yourself, because you're probably saying, no, Ezra, you probably got it wrong. Probably wasn't an appeal. Is he really suing you? Are you exaggerating? Was there really that many lawyers from Justice Department and Debate Commission and Borden, Ladner, and Gervais? Yes. You can see the 4-page document at letusreport.com. Or if you check my Twitter feed, it's there too. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, why would you? I don't even understand. What, like, so let's fast forward to the Federal Court of Appeal. I've never been to the Federal Court of Appeal, but I've been to the Ontario Court of Appeal. It's a very serious thing. Like, these are for the most important cases, right? So there's probably a panel of 3 judges, very senior, right? It's Federal Court of Appeal. And and Trudeau's got his 5 lawyers. What are they going to say? My lords, we're here to appeal Justice Zinn's ruling that let Rebel News into the debates last month. Well, how do you even, what's the Federal Court of Appeal even supposed to do? Say, overturn that? How do you overturn that? How do you even have an appeal when the written ruling isn't even published yet? Can you help me make sense of this? I just don't. It's just 100% lawfare, you know? It's lawfare. Someone just said, John O'Brien says, Ezra, don't worry, you are safe. Well, I agree with you. I don't think I'm going to lose. But I got to pay the lawyers. I mean, they're good guys and they're not overcharging. But I got to pay them. I mean, they're working hard. So that's what they're going to try and grind us down. Scanlink 5 says such a great waste of taxpayers' money. Well, that's the thing. I mean, Trudeau, he's using the taxpayers' dime as if it's his own personal funds. Chia 4, if you win, will Trudeau have to compensate? That's a good question. If we win, there will be some cost consequences to the taxpayer. It will not cover our full amount. There's a, what's it called, a tariff rate or something. You get a token amount. So we will not be kept whole. Let me just read a few more. Castro Trudeau, I went by too quickly. There was a joke there about Castro and Trudeau. John Doe, the government is built to conquer the people. Yeah, that's true. God bless you, Ezra. Thanks, Steve. It's nice of you to say. Karokupi, thank you, Ezra. You'll win. This is corruption. Well, yeah, I mean, what I'm trying to do is fight back because I feel like I still have the ability to fight back because we're not deplatformed yet. De facto rule dictatorship, Trudeau can do what he wants. That's what Jimmy McKay says. Yeah, well, you know what? I want to tell you, I mean, and if you were following me a few weeks ago, you know I said this at the time. I was shocked that Justice Russell Zinn of the federal court sided with us. I just thought, the federal court of Canada in Toronto, that's as establishment as it gets. And free speech is out of vogue right now. If you heard me, I just said, well, we're going to lose this, but we got to go down fighting. And I was stunned in a good way when we won. So I think we're going to win this appeal for sure. But, if it costs us 30, 40, 50 grand, I'm not sure how many more victories like that I want. Let me read some more comments. Keep fighting the good fight. You and Dave keep marching on. A. Lambert, you're a good man, Ezra. Well, thanks very much. And the man is show us a lawsuit. Yes, okay. Go to letusreport.com. Let, us, U-S, report.com. It's only 4 pages. How could it be longer? They haven't even seen the underlying judgment that they're appealing against. Have you ever heard of that before? Have you ever heard of someone appealing a judgment that hasn't even been written yet? Maybe they don't disagree. Well, of course they disagree with it because they want us banned no matter what. Reborn through hate, counter-sue for your lawyer fees. Well, if we win, we will be entitled to a portion of our fees, but I can assure you it's at a very low rate. Brent Robertson, Ezra, love you. Well, thank you very much. Bart Trabb, support from Belgium. Keep going. Thank you very much. Randy Nickel, how did he get reelected? Well, yeah, good question. Menace, okay, it's going by so fast here. Sue him back. Well, I guess we are, in a way. Matthew Richardson, U.S. here, stunned Canada elected blackface guy. Yeah. Trudeau equals Antifa. Well, in a way, UK supports rebel. Well, thank you very much, John. Wow, I can't believe Trudeau sued you. Well, I was like, I'm sorry, I'm repeating myself. I know some folks heard me say this 20 minutes ago. We were heading home. Long week, busy week. We were heading home, and then the phone rings at 5 p.m. on a Friday, and that was not an accident. If you'll recall, when they first banned us from the debates, they also told us on the Friday, right before the debates were on the Monday. Lloyd Christmas from Vancouver, keep up the work. Thank you. Peter Mannion, support. There we go up. Thank you. Say my name and I'll send you $100. Oh, I didn't see the name. It went by. Jay Hayward or something? Was that what I saw there? Sorry, that went by so fast. That's friendly. John S., taking free speech away. Sorry, these comments are going by so fast. We need Wexit. Yeah, I hear a lot of that. People call, email, right. Jeff Hayward. There you go. Jeff. I didn't see your name. It went by so fast. Yeah. Jeff Hayward. Yeah. Sorry, I'm laughing. I guess I'm just blown off steam. Do you have to turn up to the appeal? Well, obviously, I'll want to. I will live tweet it. Which I enjoy doing. I've done that in the UK with Tommy Robinson, and I live tweeted the federal court because I want people to know. Nice stream, says Gung. Jeffrey Hayward, there you go. We love you, Ezra. Well, thank you very much. He knows there's another election soon. That's why he's appealing it. Yes, I agree with that because this Leaders Debates Commission, it is permanent, right? I mean, you would say, well, its work is done, the debate is over, and I just said that myself. But we could be in another election in 3 months, in 6 months, in 9 months, in 18 months. How long do minority governments even last in Canada? Can you sue the Trudeau government? Well, in a way we did. Remember, we went to court to get the injunction to get in the leaders' debates, and that's what he's appealing here. Sell more Ezra bobbleheads. You know, we still got a few of those left over. They're an acquired taste. Love you guys. Thank you, Ronald. Chairman Trudeau strikes again. Isn't that the truth? Should Scheer step down? Well, listen, I'm not a big fan, but you can't replace someone with no one. Who would take him on? How will his appeal cost you money? Well, I got to pay for lawyers. That's how. Berta Bear. Lots of bears here. CBC. Okay, these are going by. Do you know who Joe is? Joe who? Why bother? Send the cash, Jeffy boy. Cost Andrew Scheer's another Trump? Yeah, no, I think they couldn't be more opposite personality-wise. Mike Epp, £2, thank you. Go to bed, Ezra. I will. You know, I got a little bit of energy because I'm sort of excited, adrenaline. Excited in a good way and a bad way. Good way, I think we're going to beat him. A bad way is I can't believe he did this. D-Mac, thanks for your help with Tommy. Yeah, my pleasure. I flew out there just for a few hours last Friday. I don't know if you know that. Scheer sucks. Well, that's one point of view. Don't give up for Montreal, okay, Jacques? Do you think Wexit might have people leaving to the new promised land? Well, I'd say there's a lot of anger out the west right now. Janice Bell, there are investigations coming up which he doesn't want reported on. Yeah, it could be. Sorry, these are going by so quick. Still early, only 10 p.m. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to stay on here forever, but I just want to give you an update. Ezra, I'm not familiar with... Oh, sorry, that went by quick. What grounds are they trying to litigate over? Well, okay, I'll tell you that. And I'm standing on the street, as you can see, so I don't have the document in front of me. But I really recommend you read it yourself. It's 4 pages, and it's not even 4 long pages. You can see it all at letusreport.com or my Twitter feed, which is just my full name, Ezra Levant. The grounds, like I say, since they don't even have the full ruling, thanks, Mike, they have very limited grounds. They don't even know what to appeal because they don't know what the judge wrote. So the only grounds that I'm just remembering it, look for yourself at letusreport.com, is they say we're not professional journalists and we're not ethical journalists. So my response to that is journalism in Canada, it's not a profession. It's not like being a doctor where you have to pass a medical exam, like a medical board exam. It's not like being an engineer where there's like a oversight society. Journalism is an activity, and you become a journalist just by doing that activity. Anyone can be a journalist, especially these days. Citizen journalists. I mean, if you got a cell phone, guess what? Boom, you're a journalist. Either live stream something or tweet it. So it's absurd to say we're not professional journalists because, technically speaking, no one is. And by the way, David Menzies, one of the 2 journalists who we sent to the debates, he actually has a journalism degree. So that's, I mean, not that is like a doctor's MD or something, but he actually is a journalism university grad. I personally don't believe that's necessary. In fact, I think that David's the only person in our company with a journalism degree. I think he's great. Everyone loves David, but I don't think that's necessary to be a journalist. The second thing, we don't practice journalistic ethics. What does that mean? We correct things when we get it wrong. We have editors. We follow the law. In fact, we spend a lot of money consulting with lawyers, pre-publication defamation review, privacy law. So I don't even know what that means, but it's a bit of chutzpah for Captain Baron von Blackface to say to other people, you're not ethical. Actually, Justin Trudeau, you're the one who was convicted of 5 breaches of the Conflict of Interest Act. So it's a bit of chutzpah for, thank you, $100 donation, that's amazing. It's a bit of chutzpah for Justin Trudeau, who himself was convicted of breaking the corruption law called the Conflict of Interest Act, to tell anyone else they're unethical. But let's say even if he was right, and he's not, in Canada we don't believe that politicians have the power to choose their journalists. We don't believe in Canada that a politician can say, you can report on me, but you can't. You can ask a question, you can't. No, that's more an Iran, communist China, North Korea kind of move. That's just not how it is here. But maybe Trudeau thinks he'll get his way. I just can't believe it'll happen with this appeal. So again, I mean, people are saying, where's the case? Go to letusreport.com. We uploaded the 4-page notice of appeal, and it's very short because there's not a lot of information to appeal, because the ruling actually hasn't even been published yet. Ezra, how divided is Canada now? Very divided. Keith Jones, win one for freedom. I'll do my best. Alan Smith, put a package of rebel memorabilia together and we'll buy. Oh, that's a good idea. Think like Trump, Ezra, best way to handle this. Okay. John A., when JT fails, I'm sorry, these are going so fast. Will the media cover it? Winnipeg loves Ezra. Thank you. Ezra, please host an Alberta Independence call in a live stream. Hey, that's a good idea. You have 13,000 report already. Good work. 1.3 thousand. Reborn through hate. He thinks he can take you down based on personal opinion. Well, thankfully, there's still a court that stands in his way. All right, folks. Well, let me just check what time it is. It's almost 10 o'clock on the nose. I'll do this for 5 more minutes. So if you got your questions, feel free to put them. If you want to help us out, we could use the help. I think it's a laughable appeal. I think we're going to smash it. I think it's going to be thrown out of court, maybe even laughed out of court. I don't even know how you appeal something that's over and done. How do you do that without a time machine? I mean, riddle me that. How do you file a notice of appeal when you don't even have the judgment in hand? Like, I don't even understand it. These guys aren't dummies. They got 5 senior lawyers. Borden, Ladner, Gervais. Like, I mean, if only I could afford lawyers like that. Those guys are tip top. I mean, did they spend $20,000, $30,000 on this thing today? I don't know. Like, I guess what I'm saying is I know they didn't do it by accident. It's not an error. They're not dumb. This wasn't like a goof up because you got 5 lawyers checking each other. This is some weird strategy, and the only thing that makes sense to me is an attempt to grind us down through lawfare. Nothing else computes. If you've got an explanation, I'm all ears. Go Rebel, thank you very much. Sardonic Poet, they want to scare you. They didn't scare me. I mean, they made me sort of puzzled. You, Ezra, fight the tyrant, thank you. Matt Fraser, $20, thanks very much. RIP Canada, Project Dream, well, we're not dead yet. The Holy Sword of Light, Ezra, can you Canadians impeach Trudeau? Not really. It's not really, I don't think we have that. Canada government paying for lawyers? Yeah. Ezra, did Doug Ford cost Conservancy election? No, I don't believe so. Joe Mama, Trudeau is protected by the RCMP. Well, yeah, but in this case, it's a legal battle. How did Justin get in again? Well, his vote was very efficient, as they say. The Conservatives got more votes, but it was all piled up in a certain region. Viva Frey, $10. That went by fast. I just saw you worked at BLG. Thank you for the donation. Scheer messed up not campaigning with Ford. I agree with you. What's up with Trudeau's NDA with a 17-year-old girl? Look, all I have on that is the rumors. I don't have any facts underneath. Ezra, do you think other journalists will cover this? Hey, great question. Thank you for that question. As I've mentioned before, where's the Canadian Association of Journalists? Where's PEN Canada? Where's the Canadian Civil Liberties Association? Where's something called Canadian Journalists for Free Expression, CJFE? Where's Amnesty International? Where's the Council for Protection of Journalists or something, CPJ, whatever that is? Like there's 4 or 5, 6 civil liberties groups for journalists. Not one of them lifted a finger here. The only other people in court with us were our buddies at True North. And that's the thing. I mean, I don't even care if you like Rebel News. We're in there trying to set the precedent for any reporter, and it's sort of gross that no other reporters are there. Can you give us an update on Jessica Yaniv, says Kyle Kleinstuber. Yes, in fact, I did my whole show tonight on that. he lost his human rights cases, and I went through the 60-page ruling on my show tonight, and it's just a scorcher. I did my whole show on it. You can get that at Rebel News. Ezra, time to move back to Alberta. $2 super chat. I'm sorry I didn't get the name there. Well, listen, I love Alberta, but I got some roots here in Ontario now. I like to say I'm an Albertan in exile. Even if Rebel is just a cell phone and you talking on it, will always have support you. Well, thanks very much for that. But that's the thing. I mean, why isn't a guy with a selfie stick a journalist? Why? Because it's cheaper and more free. Have I spoken to Tommy Robinson lately? Yeah, I saw him last Friday. You can see my reports on that at tommytrial.com. Ezra, can you have Trudeau government pay for your legal bills if you win the appeal? Partially, not a full payment. Ezra, what happened to electoral reform? No more money for the East. Brad Wall, CPC leader. He doesn't speak French. I think you need to speak French. Coming all from Neviad. I don't know what that means. Did Andrew get sued again? Yes, Andrew Lawton did, if that's the Andrew you're talking about. Ezra, CBC contacted you to do blah, blah, blah. I did, so I missed the end of that. Love from Australia. Thank you very much. Why not a full payment? That's just how it is. The cost consequences are very rarely what judges call a full indemnity. They're usually just a fraction. In some provinces, it's called a tariff. I don't know. I've never been to the Federal Court of Appeal before, so I don't know. Whatever chips in 99 cents. Thank you very much for that. Rock on, fight the good fight. $100. Thank you very much. Julian Assange is being all but forgotten. Well, he was actually in the same prison Tommy Robinson was. Beloved, don't stop. Your work will pay off. We won't stop. I promise you that. Stay safe. Thank you. Love from Detroit. Well, that's friendly. Love Roscoe. Thanks. Make Trudeau vote against election reform. Yeah. All right, folks. Well, listen, I enjoyed kibitzing with you for these past 37 minutes. I just wanted to give you an update. For those who only joined in the last 5 minutes, let me give you a 1-minute wrap-up. Today at 5 p.m., I got a surprising phone call from my lawyer who said that Justin Trudeau is suing us. He's appealing our federal court free speech victory and taking us to the Federal Court of Appeal. This confused me because, of course, our federal court victory was just a temporary victory to get us into the debate, which has happened. So I don't even know how you appeal something like that without a time machine, because it's over and done with. I also don't understand how they can do that, given that the written reasons for that judgment haven't even been published. But the final quirky thing is that they filed this appeal at the Federal Court of Appeal 8 days ago, but kept it secret until today. I think they wanted to avoid the election scandal. So anyways, if you want to read the 4-page lawsuit, you can see it at letusreport.com. I uploaded the document there, and if you feel moved to chip in, you can do so there, or of course through a super chat here. I think I'm going to wrap up there because I feel like I'm repeating myself, but I want to say thanks to everybody who joined in today. Thank you for all your questions and comments. I tried my best to answer them. And I'm going to go back and just call it a night, I guess. So thanks for your support. And I'll probably have more to say about this next week when I have a chance to confer with my lawyers and figure out what's going on. I just don't even know how it could possibly proceed. I think this whole thing is some weird kind of lawfare, and it's really gross that Trudeau has made this his big policy debut after the election. So that's it from me, everybody. Until next time, good night, and keep fighting for freedom.